turn that camera off.
What's up, fam? Welcome to Lust. Let us speak truth. I'm your host, Nick. We got the panel on here. What's up, fam?
Hey.
Hey.
How was y'all's Thanksgiving?
It was delicious.
It was amazing.
Spending it with family and friends. Yep. I
And-
had the best non-traditional Thanksgiving ever.
Yeah? What'd you do?
Oh, I only make appetizers. I stayed at home. I played video games all day.
Yeah.
And then probably like 10 o'clock at night, I went to a Friendsgiving and I got home at like 2:30. But I had Italian beef sandwiches. I thought the world was a great place.
Well, why does your face look so unhappy when you're describing your Thanksgiving, though?
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It sounds like it was self-inflicted.
I made none besides. I stayed in the house. I went to Friendsgiving. I came home. I ate stuffing with no cranberries in it.
I didn't make none of this stuff. I had appetizers. I didn't make traditional food. But no, what happened, I was kind of pissed off because I didn't go home because I was supposed to cater a birthday party. And the lady that I was catering the party for, she came down with the flu, so they canceled the party. I was like, shit, I could have went home and looked at my folks.
Well, we all know Trav got moved in.
Yay! Hey, Trav.
Look, where's my clap button? Oh, that's the laugh button. Nope, wrong one.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Hey, for I had the time of my life in Georgia, though.
Yeah.
Listen, we was on 4-wheelers. We was shooting weapons.
Where you was at? Where you was at?
Thomaston.
You was in Thomaston?
Mm-hmm.
When?
Thanksgiving. I was there.
Wow. You was in Thomaston. Asked them about Nigga Day. For real. I'm being so serious.
Nigga Day.
I swear. It's an event.
In Thomaston.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and expand on this, dog, because you got us all intrigued what the hell Nigga Day is.
Nigga Day.
You gotta ask, man. It ain't like what y'all think though. But it's Thomaston. It's a big deal down there.
I mean, I can open the front door and ask what is Nigga Day because everybody's
turn around and ask for real.
Swear to God, you want me to ask them.
Come on, bro. It's the ask.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Check this out.
We're gonna get to the topic shortly after this. We're gonna find out what Nigga.
Are y'all familiar with
Nigga Day?
Nigga Day in Thomaston.
He said it so professional.
They say yes. What is that? Emancipation Proclamation Day.
It's a big. Tell them it's a big thing. They get down there.
Okay. All right. So it's all right. So you was right. I thought you was bluffing. I thought you was bluffing.
So they had their own little Juneteenth thing. They just call it something off the wall.
Yeah, they talk off the wall, but it ain't like that. It's like a country freak meet.
I didn't experience any of that.
He said, I didn't experience any of that.
I was on 4-wheelers. I was on 4-wheelers eating a whole bunch of food. You know what I'm saying? Are you familiar with Salem?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So her peoples live in Salem, like right off of. Man, don't get me the line. 1990, one of them roads.
You're like one of. All right. Well, we're gonna get started on the topic. Today's topic. Why don't folks talk more about how divorce affects men? It's always about the women, right? What they go through. It's never about the men. Nobody talks about it. So I'm gonna say this, divorce is difficult for both sexes. It's emotional and physically exhausting. Legal separation and dissolution of marriage often results in a major life change. Men and women both experience many of the same emotions before, during, and after divorce, but men often face unique challenges that aren't as common among their female counterparts. And the first one I will say is loss of identity. Go ahead, Trav.
So this topic probably is directly something I can really dig into because I just went through a divorce. And that what you just said is a woman statement. You ain't lose your identity, you lost your motherfucking money. is what was lost. You lost your money. Somebody took your money from you.
But listen, but no, that's mainly greater loss of financial resources. I'm talking about loss of identity. Some men, it's two things: their jobs and their families. Losing either is devastating to them.
That's true, because I mean, we don't file for divorce like women do. So that's the truth. Yeah, I go with that.
Right. So that's what I
But
mean
as
loss
far
of identity, because you're so used to building for your family, and then all of a sudden this big divorce happens, and now you're starting completely over with visitations. So it's a change in
which I'll say this on a serious note. It's not set up for a man to come out the other side. The laws aren't. No, it's not set up. Now, if you got financial help, family, financial, you're stable, it's a lot easier. But if you don't have those things, most men will crumble. I mean, to the ground. You won't, there's no groups and all that. There's nothing. Nobody is coming to help a man out anyway. So if you got friends and family somewhere you can lay your head to regroup, and then you go from seeing your kids daily to seeing them on a schedule that's appointed by a judge or a lawyer, or
Right.
something. That's tough, man. It's a tough deal. For
Yeah.
real.
That's what I mean as far as loss of identity, because your whole dynamic just changed.
Yeah.
And we basically can just be like, especially if we filed and we were done with the marriage, and we just move on, because our kids are going to stay with us for the most part.
90% of the time.
So that's where I feel like people don't talk about it enough for the men, because imagine what 15, 20-year marriages, and then you look at them and everything changed for them. It's still the same for the women.
And not to mention this, if you have a lady that runs you in the ground to the kids, you got a whole nother dynamic. Now you're in a situation where the kids may side with her. Now you're fighting. You don't see them every day. They've taken sides with somebody else. That's a tough. You got a monster to fight. You got a monster to fight.
What about the assumption of blame?
On who's in?
That's what I'm saying. As far as everyone always blames the men.
I think everyone blames the men because the women, majority of the time, like y'all said, keep the kids. So the explanation is normally driven from the woman, right? And the man has to play the not bash the mom game and try to keep the peace and be calm about it and be professional about it and maintain that level of respect for the children's mother. Because as men, we eat a lot, and that's why I say, like, when we talk about being submissive and giving a lot in relationships, I personally believe that men are way more submissive than women, right? When you write it down on paper, because we give a lot, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't end up with your kids, you're the one that has to sugarcoat what actually happened, when the mom can just jump out on your head and say your dad didn't do yada, yada, yada. And that's only coming from a male perspective. That's not saying that women are wrong in their answer. I'm just speaking from the man side of it. We get bashed and take a lot of L's and have to stand. And we're told to be strong and be powerful and not be weak and, not contribute to the breaking down of the family structure.
Right. And I'm speaking of the strong, the legit men. I'm not speaking of the men that like cuss their kids out and do all kind of shit like that.
I cuss my kids out and I do all of that, but I'm a very strong-willed man. And with my children, I went through a divorce back in 2003. I was still young in my days, so I did a lot of bashing that was incorrect. As a young man, I didn't know no better. I just knew I didn't want to be the one to take the brunt of the focus when it wasn't all my fault. You know what I'm saying? Right. But now in older years, if I had to go through it again, I would just bow out gracefully and say, y'all got it. I'll wait for y'all to get old and understand what relationships are like, and y'all can, you can tell for yourself.
Go ahead, Lanita.
I think that we're speaking on men that don't typically cause the divorce as well. But at the same time, I think too that men, I think society wise, men are taught to be strong, just like what Roy was saying. Men are taught to be strong, so they're not as emotional when it comes to divorce. So they're not showing their emotional side, and they just keep pushing on. And they put up different, I think guys, they don't show, they don't really show what's going on emotionally, physically, or mentally on their side of the divorce, because they want to be strong, and they are, just like Rose said, they're taking on the blunt of what may have happened, or how they could have contributed, or how the other person contributed to the end of the relationship.
And that was my next point. Men, they have a shorter grieving period. Men are more likely to push through the grieving process, leaving it in.
We don't get a grieving period at all. We don't get one. But go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry, Nick. My
That's
bad.
okay.
Now you get it, man. At the end of the day, man, we just don't we don't get emotionally charged up about certain things. You know what I'm saying? After you went through a divorce, right, wrong, or indifferent, whatever the reason is, that you get to a point where you just like, we divorced. I got to do what I got to do, and you just kind of check the emotions to the side, because there's so much business that got to be taken care of. You got to take care of your kids. You getting hit for child support, all that other stuff. We just check out of being emotionally charged up about the situation. So when we have conversations with our baby mother or our ex-wife or something like that, when they start bringing other stuff into it, sometimes we just flip, because like, we're not trying to go there, because we just shut that down already.
But see,
but then, it's being brought up by the other party.
But see,
and a lot of times, if a man speaks out on what actually happened, like a woman does, the man is considered weak for speaking out.
See, and that's crazy.
I mean, it's as crazy as it sounds. It's a harsh reality of life that hits me after I smoke. It's true story.
But it's like leaving it incomplete, which contributes to bottle up anger, depression, or resentment.
Right. So my answer to the whole question is, from the very beginning, is I just think men's feelings don't matter when it comes to that.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Travis.
I'll give you guys a fine example. What's the one that just got divorced? Tia, one of the twins.
Tia Mowry.
Yeah. She's on TV doing a campaign where she's talking about it. That man has not said a word.
Right.
That man has not said a word. She got a divorce and ripped her family apart because she's not happy. That's what she said. And she got on TV and said, it's like a graduation. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. If a man got on TV and said that, they'd say he's lost his mind. So that's what I'm saying. We can't even play by the same set of rules that women do at all. Because if a guy said, I ain't happy, y'all immediately gonna say, oh, he got other women. But you got women clapping for her. And that's why I say, for men, nobody cares about our feelings. And just like Steve said, you gotta get up as a man. Because if you don't, you will not be looked at as a man. Get up off the ground. So even in divorce, you gotta get up. Losing your kids, losing money, losing time. Man, it ain't right. It ain't fair. And we know it ain't fair. But we still got to go in it. We got to go at it 100%. It's a messed up situation.
Man, it's crazy that we talking about this topic tonight, because I was watching a video. It was one of these smaller court shows where this dude was like, "Yo, I make $30,000 a year. I'm paying so much in child support. She makes $250,000 a year, and I've had the kids for the last 3 months. It's like, how is this fair?" And the judge
He's
looked at him
paying
and said,
child support,
"Yeah,
and
right."
he has his kids.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. That happens
a lot of 70% of the time.
Nita, if they did mandatory tests, it would mess everything up. That's why it's not mandatory, because they want to attach that child to someone.
Yeah, it's true.
I understand that. I mean, I get that. I just don't understand when a woman doesn't have her kids and she's still receiving child support. I think that's wrong. That's all.
It's a payoff because you know what, men want to be with their kids too. Like there's a misconception that because of divorce that the women should get the kids. Like men want to be with their kids. They want just as much as the women usually get on the other side. But they'll take that. Oh, I'll pay the child support. Just let me get my kids.
See, but that's the thing, Steve. There's a lot of men out here that are considered deadbeats and still, which ruins it for the good ones. You know,
and a lot of times too, you know, men hold on to a persona of what I'm gonna make up is machoism, you know, because it affects their masculinity, you know, especially when there's social expectations that's required. You know, so, you know, and the reduction, as we talked about earlier, the reduction or even the loss of losing a family, you know, you're not able to see your kids every morning or every day. So, you know, that plays a huge part in a man. And then too, women, we it's therapeutic for us to talk about it, you know, amongst each other. And men, like I said, it's that masculinity that they hold on to. It is that persona, you know, that they hold on to that, no, we don't speak about this because I'm a man.
Yeah.
But I would, you know,
if you're around the right dudes and you got a good circle around you, sometimes you don't mind talking about it, but it's not something that you just consistently speak on with your dudes because, you know, it's one of them things like you going through it. There's nothing going to change it. Ain't nothing going to make you feel better about it. We can rap about it for a minute. Then, you know, let's get back to getting you back up on your feet. Let's say something inspiring. Let's move on. Cause it's like, there's nothing we can do to change that. She gone, you know, the divorce.
And then another scary part about men getting back on their feet after all of those things is the woman can take you right back to court. she see you jumping after she done already hit you, banged you over the head. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the children don't need things, right? But we can everybody on this podcast is realistic people, right? We're all reasonable folks. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people out here who pay outrageous amounts of money because of a lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. Right? So if a man has, let's say, $60,000 a year, and they go to court, and the woman makes whatever, they do it on a chart, right? You make X amount, she make X amount, you do that. Soon as the man go, and now the relationship is over, everything is broke up, and the man go out and increase his individual worth. Now the woman can say, "Oh wow, look at him, he's doing amazing." I don't even look. I put him on the visitation that he's on, but he's making all that money, so I want some of it.
Yeah,
they can take you back to court. They can take you by law. I know a lot of dudes that didn't go get better jobs because they knew the baby mother was going to go back and get more money from them.
Yeah,
that's a fact of life, yo. It's a real thing.
Hey, Ro, check this out. I was talking to a dude one time, and he was like, if you do the numbers, a man that makes, I'm going to use a flat number, $125 a year.
Yeah.
Like if you marry a woman that makes $40,000 a year, he said, you don't understand the liability that you just put yourself in if you all separate. And he did the numbers. He said, you are making a poor financial decision. He said, a man that makes 125 and a woman that makes 40, he said, you should get a prenup. At that number, you should get a prenup and make her sign something. And I was like, well, damn, that's working class. He said, you don't understand. That's the only thing that's going to help you in the courtroom if you make her sign something.
But what about the younger generation? Let's say you met in high school and you dated and
she deserved to get something. If she rolled with you through all that, she deserved to get something.
But what does she deserve to get though? If she rolled with you and y'all met in high school and y'all went to college together and y'all both you went to college, she went to the military, you went to the military, she went to college, whatever the situation is.
And y'all amassed the empire together, right?
Right. They are together. They got married.
I'm saying, Ro, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro, but you amassed the empire together, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. She deserves something though, bro.
She's entitled to half of everything after 10 years.
So what is the man entitled to after 10 years?
Well, see, that's
Half of
Everything.
You get
So,
half of that.
so you're telling me if the woman makes more money, right? Just let's just please. I'm a grown man in the United States of America who's been through this situation. So this is a very sensitive subject to me. And I know it sounds cute, but let's be for real. If the woman makes 125 and the guy makes 40, and your job makes you travel as a woman, and I get the kids full time, I'm entitled to 50% of your stuff.
You are entitled to 50%.
But most men won't take it
Most
though.
women,
Most men won't take it.
Most men won't take it, or most men don't understand their entitlements or what they deserve. So when it's time for them to go to court, a lot of times the court does cater to the woman.
So blame it on the guy. For lack of knowledge.
It's not blaming it on the guy.
But I'm just saying, y'all can't put on y'all hands 10 famous people who that situation is what y'all just said.
I'll give you a fine example.
Give me 10 though. Give me 10 though. Give me 10 because I can give you 10 women on the other side. Give me 10 men.
I can't.
Give me 10 female superstars. Give me 10 female superstars who have had kids and are no longer, because Britney Spears and what's the white dude that Britney Spears was with?
Kevin Federline.
The internet, the social media, the world was up in arms because she had to pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear nobody crying when a man.
Let me ask you a question.
Nobody.
Why is Kanye paying child support? Both of them got bread.
Right.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Right. And you gotta realize that woman, she done pimped her doors to go after them.
Not only do Kim Kardashian got bread, the boy that she left him with got bread too.
Why? They should have just went on about their business. He giving her $3 million a year for what?
For what? Because of his sneakers.
Come on, bro. That's crazy.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. This conversation is okay and it's cool, but it's never a fair conversation.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I feel like the justice system does screw over the men. I do.
One more thing. But the divorce laws are predicated off of 40 years ago. When women 40, 50 years ago. So all that needs to be revisited. You can't be in a situation where you separate and you're saying, hey, that doesn't make sense. If you're a postal worker, I'm just using him for an example, and he's got a pension and you've been at home, I can understand him giving you something. Why should he was out there in the rain and the cold, why should he give you his pension? I don't understand that.
And then not only does he have to give you his pension, he still has to have everything to provide for the kids that you are required to have. He still got to have a household. He still got to have beds. He still got to have food. He still got to have transportation. He has to have everything that you're required to have in order to be able to have visitation. But y'all aren't required to do it on your own. It's like, oh, well, you put your thing in me and had a kid. You laid down and got pregnant. You knew what time it was too. Get out of here. Come on,
That's
man.
one thing that I don't understand. If you're with somebody for a long period of time, and then you start bashing the person, and I'm talking again about the good men, not the deadbeats. So you're with them for 15, 25 years, whatever, and then all of a sudden they ain't shit. They're this, they're that. Well, you laid up with them for 15, 20 years. So what does that say about you?
But can you ask a question about deadbeats for a second, right? I know a lot of men who are deadbeats because they tried to be good beats and kept getting kicked over and finally said hell with it.
No, that's
a fact too. That's a fact too.
But that's not necessarily a deadbeat. That's a man that tried, that got knocked
right.
in.
But what they're perceived as is a deadbeat though. There's a lot of men out here who didn't have a lot to give, but gave what they had, and it wasn't enough for somebody else. So they called him a deadbeat. So it's easy. It's easy. It's just like opening the door for somebody. If you continuously open the door for women and they keep telling you, why are you doing this? I'm independent. I can do it myself. You stop opening the door. Now you're a guy that doesn't recognize chivalry. That's what that is. That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. So that you can be called a deadbeat because you don't want to play that game and fight into that battle. You just bow out.
Let me ask you a question, Ro. Let me ask you a question, Ro. So you dating a chick, right? A lady.
Yeah.
And she dogging her kid's father. You go along with it. You go along with it. You say
absolutely not. Not for one second, bro.
And I'm the same way. I'm the same way. So if I'm dealing with a lady and she dogging her ex-husband or her kid's father, if I was dealing, you can't do that to me, because if you get me in the Cobra clutch, you treat me the same way.
Exactly. But and that's how I look at it. If it has to go both ways, because if a woman is dogging the ex-husband or the ex-husband is dogging the woman, it's wrong. And so I think that when you get into a new relationship, and this is probably a little bit off topic, but when you do evolve and get into a new relationship, that person that you're in a new relationship with, it should be boundaries that are already set to say, hey, look, I'm cool with my kids' father, and I'm saying from a woman's perspective, I'm cool with my kids' father, and there's no issues between us. So if we're gonna rock with each other, you're gonna have to respect that we're cool. There's no drama.
Can I tell you how real I am about it though? I'm in San Antonio, Texas, right this second, right? My lady, her son graduated from Air Force boot camp. We all came out. We're staying in the Airbnb. Y'all see this? I'm not in the hotel, right? Y'all see this, right? Y'all can see this? Her son's father is in the room right here. We're all staying in the house together. We're mature adults. Me and him stood in the kitchen 5 minutes ago and had a drink before y'all called.
See, and that
we're not the immature ones.
Right.
And I hate to say it. It's y'all, man.
Well,
but because
wait.
Bro,
what do you mean, y'all?
Bro, the women, bro.
The
men can deal with it.
Because I was just saying that.
One at a time. Go ahead, Trav. Hold on, Lenita.
That's because in most cases, not all women, most women are agents of chaos. And if you keep the confusion up, you can keep the men from getting to a happy medium. In my case, right now, there's a man around my kids, and I ain't necessarily no beef with him. You around my daughters, we need to speak. But guess who's keeping that buffer in between? She is.
The ex-wife.
Yes, and that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
That's something that I would never understand.
Men don't do that. We don't do that with each other.
That's not true.
Well, Roy and Travis, I totally agree with you. From a woman's perspective, a woman that has been divorced for 6 years, my ex-husband, should I say, talk against me daily, to my children. So we can't all just say we don't do that or men don't do that. You all do that. Sometimes you throw the rock and you hide your hands.
One question, Tanya, who filed for divorce, you or him?
I filed for divorce, but hold up. Wait a minute, Travis. We were separated for 4 years. He was dating someone.
Different.
Hold on, he was dating someone else. Okay, that woman that he was dating was doing horrible things to my daughter. So as a man, if you don't step up for your daughter, dude, that tells me a whole lot. It's over. The 20-year marriage is over with.
Yeah.
Now, because I filed for divorce, he is going back saying to his kids that I want his money, and he's not giving anything but child support. So how do I want his money? It's for his daughter. But he's telling his kids this. But again, it's not just women that does these little things. It's men that does these things as well. You don't expect the man to do it because you hear about the woman doing it all the time, a majority of the time, shall I say?
So can we all agree that men are gonna believe what men believe because we go through it from our side? Mm-hmm. Women are gonna believe what they believe because they go through it from their side. We'll never understand y'all side because we ain't women. Y'all will never understand our side because y'all ain't men. When people realize that they don't need to learn the other person's struggle, don't try to relate to the other person's struggle. Respect your own struggle and learn how to not put that struggle on somebody else. Go ahead, Nick. My bad.
Do you know anybody that is a deadbeat dad?
Yes.
Yes.
That didn't even try. That's straight out.
Yeah, I do.
So,
but you want me? But can I tell you a secret? I'm gonna tell you a secret to the podcast in the world. Me personally, I know way more men that have custody of their kids with deadbeat mothers. That's in my world. I can't speak on nobody else's world. I'm speaking on my world. I got men in my life who fight every day to be great fathers, and they're called deadbeats by all the women's friends because the women lie. And I know for a fact that the kids are with the fathers.
Right. So no,
I got a homeboy that went and got a job. I got a homeboy that went and got a job at his kid's school just to see his kids.
That I just
he fills vending machines, bro. He fills vending machines just so he can see his kids in the hallways.
I saw a meme about that.
And that's not even a joke. That's a fucking fact.
I think it's beautiful.
And me too. But the worst,
me, it's just like that. This is Doubtfire. It's kind of like any means necessary because
right. But it's like, but it's
want to be a part of it. Then it's like you find a workaround.
But it's a beautiful.
Is that a good thing or does that hinder?
But why? The question is, why does he have to go that far just to see?
Why? Why, man? Why?
That's the fight.
Nobody steps up. Nobody steps up. Women see other women being terrible in no references and don't say nothing. Men see men being terrible in those references and don't say nothing.
That's
until
true.
Until we all say something, then it's gonna it's an ongoing cycle.
And that's what I mean, bro. That's what I mean, bro.
But let me say this. You know, this is if this has been going on for 50 or even 100 years to you all. My question to you men that live this and see this, why don't you start a movement? Why don't you educate yourselves?
You're right.
So when you go in front of the judge, you know exactly what to say. Because here's the key. As soon as you become educated, you can sit that judge actually down.
But do you hear what I just said, though? I know way more.
You know, men don't educate themselves.
I personally know way more men who have custody of their children because we are educated.
Right. But
the majority in the country, I mean, if you're talking to a guy that got felonies and you're talking about, there's so many different levels of guys, right? They got felonies, they got this, they go in to talk to the judge, they automatically scared. They already in the red. They don't got no job for real. They can't talk no money for real. They can't do this for real. They're automatically shit on. They're automatically stepped on. And we take away the fact that that's a real thing, but it is a real thing. I know guys that cry every day because they don't get to see their kids. It's a fact. I'm talking facts. I'm not talking sugar. That's why I say this conversation to me, I'll play the podcast. I'm out of town with my whole, in-law family, but I got on this joint because I seen the topic and I said, this stuff has to be talked about.
Yes.
Because people just continuously say that the guys, and there's so many women who deserve so much more than what they get.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But there's so many men who deserve so much more than what they get.
I agree.
That's true.
And it's sad. The shit is sad. I'll cry about it because I fought to get my kids and I got them. And even though I got them, I still get dogged. I get child support when they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
I get groceries when they feel like it. They tell me, why you ain't buy no school clothes? Why you ain't give me no child support? Oh, you make way more money than me. Why I gotta give child support? So you telling me you have a child in the United States of America that you do not contribute to their well-being and it's okay?
That's what I can't stand.
Because I make more money than you?
That to me is a deadbeat mom. That's a
right, exactly. But men are not allowed to say that. Men are not allowed to. Women can go on social media and bash men all day. Soon as a man does it, we're terrible. That's a fact. You know what we say? If men ask for child support, you know what they say to us? Damn, if you need something, just ask for it. You broke? You must be broke. And damn, if you need something, that's what we get. But the women who recognize that don't step in and tell the other women that they're wrong. When have you ever stepped in and told a woman she was wrong?
But let me say this again. Education. If you all knew how much power, how much power you had, because the lack of knowledge would not get you anywhere. You can sit any judge in the United States down if you had the knowledge. And I can tell you how to get that knowledge, but you got to know how to use that knowledge. Yeah. So use the power. Let me tell you, we are very powerful people, and the power lies with us.
So would you teach a man who you saw being dogged out?
Hold on, Trav.
Most definitely.
You
Most
would
definitely.
so you would even if it was your homegirl, even if it was your homegirl.
Listen. One thing about me
No,
is that
answer the question though. Even if it was your homegirl,
I
you would call the guy and say,
my
you're
homegirl.
being
No,
treated wrong.
I wouldn't get in the middle of that. You know, that I wouldn't touch.
All right.
I ain't gonna touch that.
So that's part of the problem.
Well, no, the problem is that we don't educate, our men don't educate themselves. If you
So
see this
why
is a
won't you
problem,
educate them though? If you're sitting there
if
watching
you
the
see
problem.
that this is a
Hold on,
problem,
hold on,
then
bro.
start a movement. Start a movement.
Hold on, Tanya. Go ahead, Trav.
This is to Tanya. I hear you, Tanya. That courtroom ain't set up for us, Tanya. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Tanya. I just went through it. It ain't set up. So for a man like myself, they're gonna ask for 2 years bank statements. You can't hide no money. That's number one. Number two, they're gonna tell you, hey, you got to provide health care. That's fine. Tanya, I'm telling you, that courtroom is predicated off of 40, 50, 60 years ago when women didn't work. You cannot beat, and then you got certain judges that won't even look at it. When we were in court, we were in court. I looked down at my phone. She stood up, they let her talk for 14 minutes. They asked her questions. I stood up, he asked me 2 questions. He said, you can sit back down. That courtroom ain't set for us. No, man, I don't even care what color you are. It don't matter what color, white dude, black dude. That courtroom in America is not set for us. You shut up and pay, is what they're gonna say.
I got a question. If you go through a harsh divorce, do you guys have trust issues for your future relationships? Was it hard? Is it hard for you? The ones that have been divorced.
It depends on the reason for the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
so if that person was in a marriage that the spouse constantly lied, then of course that person is going to have some type of trust issue with the next person until they build that relationship.
Go ahead, Trav.
All right, so I hear what you're saying, Tanya, but it's a little bit different for a man. See, when you a man, you'll give your life for your family, your kids, your wife. You know what I'm saying? You'll run back in a burning building for them. Steve will do it for his kids and his wife. Ro would have done it. Ro would have done it for his wife.
Hell no, you better run your ass out of there.
You know what I'm talking about, dog. But I'm being for real.
I meet you at the door.
So, as my lady, you ain't gonna ever be mandated to give your life for me. That's not your job. And I've said this many times before. That's not your job. When you're willing to do that for somebody and they take you in a courtroom and they drag you and they embarrass you and they hurt you and they don't care and they stomp on you, that makes you feel a way coming forward with the next person you deal with, because you looking at her side eye. No matter what she say, you watching everything she do. She got to show and prove. So the first time she give you, and she'll do some of that same shit, you get your track shoes and get to running.
It's a trigger.
That's my biggest situation right now. Like I'm gonna be concerned about that. Like,
something. Go ahead, Trav.
How do you commingle funds if you think somebody gonna go to the bank and take from you? Like all that. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, because so imagine being in a marriage for X amount of years, getting divorced, your wife getting. I'm gonna get a low number. I'm gonna shoot you low. She get 25% of your retirement, and your right. That's a low number, right?
That's a low number.
It's a low number. But then not now. Now you got 25 going to your ex-wife and your child. Right? Let's say you have one kid. I'm gonna give you low numbers. I'm shooting low for everybody. 25 and 1, right? And that's not jail. That's 25 and 1. Now you get with another. Are you gonna trust that she's not gonna shoot for the other 25? Every conversation, I promise you, in them arguments, keep fucking playing. I'm gonna take your ass to court. Come on, cuz. It's not a trust issue. It's not a trust issue. It's letting that person be who they are. You're trusting them to be who they are.
Hold on. Here's what I don't understand. If you both are making money, making good money, and you get a divorce after 25 years. Why should any of you be entitled to either retirement?
So
I don't
ask the judge, because
think
we don't know the
people
answer.
get-
Men
Well,
don't
the
know the
thing
answer.
is-
So you ask
The
the
thing
judge.
is,
hold on one at a time.
Nick, I gotta say this, please, y'all.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you what my numbers say. I'm in my case, I'm in the union. I'm a union guy. So she gets 25% of my pension. Wait. And I gave her the business free and clear and detached my name from it.
So why this is what I don't like about the court system, because why would she be entitled to your pension? I don't understand that. I would never do nothing like that. When I got divorced, me and my ex-husband, we agreed pretty much on
Why? Nick, you wanna know why you wouldn't do that? Because most women with real jobs and careers don't do that shit. When they're the scaredest person on earth is a stay-at-home mom or a lady that didn't work, because she don't know where that bread gonna come from. She wants to be okay, and you gonna have to make sure I'm okay. That is a fact. It's a fact.
Absolute fact.
Now, I don't think she should. I think she deserves something because she took care of the kids. But what I'm saying is,
but she
women
gets
that
every month. So she gets something every month. So why? I don't.
No. I want to make sure if I don't get remarried, I'm okay when I get old.
Yeah, I get that.
That's what the lady is saying. If
Mm.
I don't get remarried, when I
Right.
get old, I want to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. And that's what normally happens, is that they won't get remarried because they lose that.
Mm.
It's a lot of moves on the chessboard when folks is talking about money, and later on down the line.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Move. Now you good, Need. I'm just saying, people will move how they gotta move when they understand the rules of the game. They'll play it by the rules just to make sure that they straight.
See, I understand. I understand if, let's say you guys were together for 20 years and the woman had a minimal job or bared the kids or did whatever he allowed her to do because he didn't want you to work, right?
But stop right there. No, he didn't allow you to do anything. You let him allow you to do that.
Right.
Nobody controls nobody.
I get that.
Words have meaning.
But listen, if you as a man tells your wife, I don't want you to work, I want you to stay home and I want you to take care of our babies, and you say, but I want to work. No, you could work, but just work minimal.
Part-time.
No. So I want food on the table when I get home. I want the kids bathed, homework done. I want all the catering done to the kids. And then, but you still work part-time because it's your freedom. It's your little part-time. You know what I mean? Do you think those people should be entitled to a pension after 20 years of marriage?
No. They made a choice. Okay, I'll stay home and work part-time. They made a choice like we all do.
But what if the man forced it? What if he
doesn't force anything. He doesn't force nothing.
Okay,
that's the problem. He doesn't. How does he force it?
Listen, this is how he can force it. He can give you attitude if you want to work.
Nick, I got one more question.
We're 40 years old. An attitude can stop you from going out and taking care and providing for your team.
Nick, I got one more question to add to that.
Go ahead.
You said she named the list of things she's gonna be doing now again. What we got?
She's going to cook, she's going to clean, she's gonna do homework, she's gonna help, do everything for the kids, get them ready for the next day. She is going to work part-time, and
then she gonna go in there and watch that thing up and get tooted up and get ready for action later.
Yeah. So is she entitled to?
Steve, I'm trying to be serious, man. I'm trying to.
You was. I didn't say nothing. I didn't.
But listen, like, is she in like 20 years of that? That's just
20 years of ground and pound. She deserves a little something. She deserves a little something. If she been tooting up for 20 years, then she deserves a little something.
But see, and I'm talking about the relationships, bro. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying. I get it. I'm talking about the men that get pissed off at their wife if they want to do more, if they want to work full time, and they get pissed off and they're like, well, you don't want to accommodate me, so I don't want to be with you anymore. Let's get a divorce.
Right, but how many women do exactly what you just said when the man is doing all that working, doing all of that stuff, and the woman divorce him because he's not home enough. The woman divorce him because he don't give her enough.
That's real. That's real what he's saying now.
Come on.
That's real.
That's a choice
real.
that we all make.
I can speak on this one.
Hold on.
Hey, from the married guy, I can speak on this right quick.
Hold on, Steve. Let finish, Ro.
It's all a choice. It's individual choices. No one owns anybody. You cannot tell me what I cannot and can do. And if I allow you to, that's a choice and a decision that I make as a person. So I can't look at you 20 years down the line and say, you made me work part-time.
Yeah.
You
Well,
made,
see,
because I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a man's man, right?
Uh-huh.
Any woman I get with will go 50-50. You know why? Because them Saturday morning conversations are gonna be great.
Right.
You want to get out of bed and go shopping? I'm tired. Get somebody else to do it.
Right.
That's what I'm talking
but that's
about.
where.
Hold on, Lenita. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, Steve.
Well, in that perspective, man, I've had a situation like that, you know what I'm saying? But it came down to the communication that we had, like I'm working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, you know what I'm saying? Just because I felt like I had to make the ends meet, And my wife, she's like, it's not about the money, it's about the time for her. So eventually, it got through my head, you know what I'm saying? Then I started making some other moves and things got better, but I had to listen to the communication, and she was trying to communicate with me, I'm communicating with her, and we finally got there. Now every situation is not like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a woman can get fed up and then she bounced. But luckily we had enough communication that we was able to keep it together, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was truly feeling like she at home, I got to put some bread together, you know what I'm saying? So we not, even though it's tight, I don't need it to be just underneath, you know what I'm saying, be underneath the house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all know where the pool guy comes from?
Being gone at work too long.
Say that again, Steve.
Being gone at work too long, she got an opportunity to see something else.
The pool guy.
That's the mailman.
The mailman.
But here's the
guy,
thing.
Jody, as they call him, whatever you want to call him.
Hold on, Trav. Let Lenita say what you were gonna say.
I was just going to touch on a couple of things. When we were talking about the woman staying at home and the man asking the woman to stay at home, a lot of times in a marriage, we've talked about this before in the podcast, where the woman is submissive and she is doing what the man is asking her to do. Okay, well, you want me to stay at home and work part-time? I'm gonna stay at home and work part-time, or I'll do this to the kids, get them to and from and stuff like that. So a lot of things in a marriage, things are not fair. It's not fair in a marriage. And where people come together is the communication and compromise with the commitment. So it is, when it comes down to what somebody is entitled to, whether male or female, there are people that do deserve stuff, and people, and that's what their entitlements are coming from. That's all. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. Like she in some men's eyes, she's doing the bare minimum, but it's what they ask for.
Right.
Go ahead, Trav.
Right, but we can agree that you gave
it all.
Hold on, y'all.
You made a choice. You made a choice by agreeing with it.
Hold on, Ro.
Okay.
Go ahead, Trav.
And this is something I don't understand, and maybe other men can make me understand this. If a woman tells me, and I'm taking care of us, I want you at home, but I also want you to pay that mortgage, I'm gonna tell you, you've lost your goddamn mind. You're delusional. I'm gonna go get paid, because you can leave at any time. And the reason I say that is I'm going to go get paid because I'm not gonna be broke and brokenhearted. Fuck that. That's nonsense. I'm going to work. And if you want to be here with me, be here when I get back. If you don't, goddamn catch you, goddamn move out of here. That's crazy for a man to say that. And I ain't talking about you, Steve. I did what you're saying. I respect it. You did it for your relationship. But at this junction in the game, if I meet a lady and she say, Trav, I don't like the fact that you work 65, 70 hours a week, then I'm sorry. Then you go get that nigga to sit on the couch with you. I'm not him.
Right.
I got something for you, Trav.
I sit on the couch.
Ro silly. Hey, but the conversation,
Retired Ro.
Retired row.
Hold on, go ahead.
man, the conversation that we had, it was on a deeper level. It wasn't one of those like, it was one of those we can make the regular work, and I want you here, and I want you to be here. You missing time with me, you missing time with your son. I want you to be there for the family. And it wasn't brought to me as an ultimatum or anything like that. It was just a real. It was being honest in the moment. So like I see what you're saying about it, you know what I'm saying? Because we always got that in us to go make the money, make everything work. Don't sit there and struggle, you know what I'm saying? Because some of us came up struggling. We don't never want to go through that again. But the thing about it is just that sometimes there has to be that level of communication where you got to understand where somebody's coming from. Because it ain't about necessarily like the milkman or the postman or whatever, like we were talking about earlier. Sometimes you got to understand when somebody just really wants you and they see you running yourself down because you're trying to make it work, and you know what I'm saying, like, and you're not taking no time for yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, you're doing all this running around and this, and then you're not even paying attention to the one person that's supposed to have your back, and we just keep working. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two, between somebody that just wants to, that's saying that, oh, you need to be here, and then somebody that's like, I see what's really going on. I see, you know what I'm saying, you working these hours and you're not taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll do that.
Right.
We'll work ourselves down to the nub, and then, you know what I'm saying, we ain't got nothing left for nobody else.
Look, y'all.
But you know what's crazy? You work yourself down to the nub and you ain't got nothing for nobody else. And you go to court and they take it off.
And they take the rest of it.
They take it off. You just said it. You work yourself to the nub and you go to court because you're not home enough. And now the woman wants a divorce and they take everything else that you don't got. And then they wonder why you're bitter and angry and don't want to pick the kids up on Friday so you can go on a date with their money. Come on, man. Let's talk truth.
Not everybody operates like that, though.
Let us speak. Let
not
us speak truth. Let us speak truth.
Listen,
not everybody. Of course, we're not speaking on everybody. We're speaking in general. But it happens way more than not, though.
Listen, y'all. The reason why I brought up the trust issues in future relationships, 86%, because men often find it more difficult to talk through their divorce-related issues that may carry anger, resentment, and trust issues into new relationships. Some men swear off marriage altogether after bad divorces, while others may be extremely hesitant to take the leap with someone new, and some jump right in because they feel alone. Do y'all agree with that? The men?
Yeah, you lost your whole family. You lost everything. Of course you want somebody else. Of course you want companionship. You'll lean on somebody that don't even deserve who you are because you want somebody to be there with you. You'll give something to somebody that don't even deserve what you got.
That's tough.
They don't even deserve the man that you become through your pain. We become the best we are through our pain. Through our pain, we become the best men we can be. And women don't see that. And I'm not speaking on all women, not y'all on the panel, not Tanya, Tootie, Nick, Lily. We ain't speaking on that. We speaking on life in general and for real, for real. Let us speak truth, cuz we get burned and fried up and lean on people that we don't even know if they care about to even know what we've been through. Because if men speak how they feel about their past, you know what we're called? Broken.
Yeah. I agree.
Broken. We're called broken because we're speaking on what we just went through. Trav just went through a hell of a divorce. If Trav speaks to the next woman that comes across his plate and tells how he felt, man, that nigga got problems. He don't. I talk to him every Wednesday and Sunday. That man's straight. He's just telling his truth. I'm just saying that's why I say this conversation is so real and so many people need to hear it. And in the very beginning of this conversation, Nick, no disrespect to you, you asked a question. Trav answered it. Your rebuttal to his answer was, no, that's not what we're asking. He answered your question and you told him he was wrong with his answer.
Wait, which part are you talking about?
The very beginning, the very first question that you asked. Trav answered the question. And you was like, nah, that's not what I'm talking about.
The loss of
that was his answer.
Right. No, I was saying in general from
but he was giving you his answer. But your answer, But you wrote. I'm sorry. Don't bash me.
I didn't say he was wrong.
After this is over, just go back and watch the tape.
Okay.
Go back and watch the tape.
Okay. Go ahead, Trav.
One thing I really like to say, man, for real, like, and I guess it's out to any brother out there that's going through it that might watch our show. Man, it's get up, man. I'll say it again, get up. Like, get up off the ground, find something to do, because you're gonna start remembering stuff that's gonna fly up. You're gonna remember holidays, you're gonna remember days that you did things for that lady and them kids, and that thing gonna play over and over. And that's why a lot of guys can't take it and they zone out and they do something stupid. Like you don't know how dangerous that situation is where that brother went to work, that man or whoever he was went to work for 15, 20 years and was able to pull the family out of a hole, and y'all did it together. And then, you come up with something like, I'm not happy. That's or you start saying the cliche things that women say, self-love and my truth and I'm gonna start saying all that, and that man is all he's thinking about is, I used to come to your mama house when you didn't have no car. I used to pick you up. What you talking about? Now you're not happy. So again, man, for anybody out there going through it, bro, like, man, talk to somebody, keep your head up, go do something, man, because I'm telling you, like, it's a rough pill. In my case, that one of the lowest days that I had is that she gave me the keys to a Lexus that I bought her back, and she was like, I don't want your car anymore. And I'm like, who the hell gives back cars with notes on them? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking, like,
with a note.
With a note, like, this nigga's lost their mind. I'm paying for this. But the illest thing ever was, like Rose said, and Steve said too, my cousin said, so what you gonna do? You gonna look at the car, or we gonna come up with a game plan?
Right.
And he picked me up immediately. We sold both of the cars, put bread back, made moves, and I bought another crib. I'm telling you, man, in my case, I was blessed because I had family and I had people that went the whole way. But it's some people ain't got nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, can I say something real quick before I go? I gotta hang up, y'all. I gotta go inside and entertain the family. I don't never expect women to understand how we feel. And I don't expect men to understand how women feel. But what needs to happen is there needs to be a respectable understanding and a line of communication. And we need to be able to check each other. And there's one thing that everybody on this panel can understand is that we all have a problem with being checked. Sometimes you got to step to the front and just be okay with being checked. Humble yourself and understand that every decision we make ain't the best. It may be the best for us in that moment, but it ain't the best for the situation overall. Lily, fix your face. I don't know what's going on with you tonight.
All right, y'all. We ain't gonna get off here, but
I gotta go, y'all. I love y'all to death, man. I'll see y'all on Wednesday.
We are Wednesday. You mean Sunday?
Sunday.
Peace. Okay, Sunday. All right, peace.
Hey, be safe, bro.
You know it
Be
for
easy,
sure,
bro.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's a hell of a topic.
He
Before we go, I just want to say something to Trav, man. I completely agree with you, man. I saw something the other day that made me think of this. There was a guy, inspirational speaker, man. I can't remember his name right now. He said, you never see a lion out on hunting by himself. He's never alone when he does what he does. He said, as people, sometimes we get alone, and that's when the weakness of the mind sets in and attacks us, as you were saying. He said, you got to keep yourself around people that'll help you hunt, people that'll help bring you up, help people that will get you to where you need to be so you can eat. You know, because if lions don't do it alone, you don't see nobody really does it by themselves. Everybody has somebody. You got to make sure you keep somebody. Like you said, through the divorce, you got to have somebody that's there that's going to be able to pick you up. That's why you got to have the right people in your corner, do the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? People get divorced for whatever reason they get divorced for, but that doesn't mean you can't have good people. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good person and you got good people around you, that it'll come back around because they won't let you fall, hopefully.
Right. Go ahead, Trav.
Honestly, man, you know what I'm saying, to get in the same line that you just said, Steve, honestly, bro, like we the only community to where we even try to attempt to do it alone. Other races or whatever, they ride with each other. Like they pick it up. Like they don't do that. You know what I mean? Like they, if you do go through a financial blow, so many people are involved. If you down for a year or so, you know what I'm saying, a couple of years, they help you get back up. You know what I mean? So in our community, it's a mess, you know what I mean? And you know, like as far as men, man, just to step out and say, hey man, I'm effed up right now. Like, and
Mhm.
you know, because you said in our community, people start running from you.
Right.
You know, people start running. I ain't giving you no money. I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? But you know, it's a mess, man. And I appreciate the topic tonight, 100%. I really do.
And
Because
honestly, Trev, on that, I would really say I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's a man and woman thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a money game. I think it is a control game. Um, I did this topic tonight because I felt something in my heart when it comes to men being dogged out. You know, as far as I know somebody at my, well, not my, let me not say that because I'll be exploiting. But I'm going to conclude this. We're not going to stop here. But ladies, if you have a good man or had a good man and you are being spiteful and bitter over a divorce, think about how you would feel if the roles were reversed and men had the majority of custody. You paid child support to him and he kept the house and you had to relocate. I'm just saying. And on that note, subscribe to L.U.S.T. Let us speak truth. And we will holla at y'all on Sunday.
Peace.